Di bulan Maret, rupiah sempat mengalami penguatan, bahkan menembus level 13.000. Apakah rupiah akan terus menguat? Lalu bagaimana proyeksi pertumbuhan ekonomi Indonesia? Berikut ini analisis Taye Shim, Head of Research KDB Daewoo Securities.
Basically, we have to take a look at the macroeconomic conditions and what the trend of the broader economic growth is going to be. And we think the crystal ball is actually very clear because Indonesia staged a very resilient economic growth print in the fourth quarter of 2015. And we actually credit President Jokowi for doing a very good job for introducing timely and prudent economic policies. And combined with policy synchronization with the central bank, we expect to see reinforced investor confidence on the growth outlook of Indonesia. Especially if we're looking at the macroeconomic backdrop, I think it's turning very favorable. Year-to-date FX rates, crude oil prices, and yields have turned very favorable for the potential recovery of the economy as well as the equity prices. And we expect first quarter GDP, which will be released during the first week of May, is likely to be very good. And we expect the rupiah to still continue to decline until the first half, given lower chances of the Fed raising its key interest rates. And the crude oil prices are likely to stabilize from here. Well, given the fact that most of the central banks right now are implementing and adopting negative interest rate policies, on January, the BOJ, Bank of Japan, surprised the market with its negative interest rate. In March, the ECB further took the negative interest rates from 0.3% negative 0.3% to negative 0.4%. So most likely, market participants and investors are most likely to seek areas and asset classes where they can generate sustainable return. And if you look at OECD and G20 countries by the central bank rates, Indonesia ranked on the fifth top spot. However, if you look at the higher central bank rates such as Argentina, Brazil, Russia, and Turkey, these economies are not just delivering economic growth, rather they're delivering economic contraction. So most likely investors will have Indonesia along with India on the top list of those potential assets to buy. So we think there's high likely chances that foreign investment flows will flow into Indonesia, which will actually bode positive for Indonesian equities. Well, last year on an average, rupiah traded at about 13,400, and we think this year on an average, we think rupiah is going to trade at 13,775. From a YOY comparison, we still believe that rupiah is likely to weaken. However, we would have to let investors know that it came off from a very high level. We expected this year's average rupiah currency to be FX rates to be 14,500 and revise it down during February to 13,775. So we think the current situation is not as bad as investors had originally thought. Although it's going to be weakened, we do not think that it's going to be as bad as most market participants originally expected.